All right, guys, you're looking at the thumbnail, you're looking at the title of the video, you already know what time it is. It is time to get active. Excuse my angered tone that I started this out with, but I just recorded this entire video and realized that at some point earlier today, I must have hit the mute button, okay? So I gotta re-record this bitch, but bear with me. Now, guys, the reason why I wanted to talk about this, not only did I recently come across this information, but that I think that it's incredible, right? When we talk about the way that men are treated differently than women in news and media, and how often women get allowances for mistakes that they made in their life. Not only just that, but there seems to be a victim tone that they're allowed to leverage while painting the men as pieces of shit. This story is a little bit about that as well, okay? So let's just get back down in there. Exclusive. Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, 38 years old, reveals that she's homeless, living out of her SUV rental, and hasn't received a dime from him in 18 months, despite repeated pleas for help. Not gonna lie, I read something like this and the first thing I think is, Dr. Dre, you asshole, you bastard. But wait, there's more. By the way, guys, I apologize for all of the ads that are showing on this website. However, this is the original source of the story. So just bear with all the ads. I'm going to read around them. LaTanya Young, 38, works as a delivery driver for DoorDash and Uber Eats and as an assembler at a warehouse, but claims that she cannot afford to secure an apartment in Cali and is living in a rental vehicle. Now, I read all of that. My initial thought is, damn, 38 years old, looks like three different jobs, and still can't get an apartment. Maybe she should move out of Cali. That's another thing I was thinking of. And is currently living in a rental vehicle, and you have a $1 billion father? Right, like this is some crazy shit, but let's move on. LaTanya, who is the mom of Tatiana, 16 years old, Rihanna, 13 years old, DeAndre, 8 years old, who's named after Dr. Dre, obviously, and Jason the third, 3 years old, said, I've been working in a warehouse and doing Uber Eats and DoorDash. Holy moly, you are a mother of 4 children. And at the top of the article, it said, living out of a hotel. In the interest of keeping this equal in the name and the power of feminism, let's call a spade here. You've made incredibly bad decisions in your life. Take all of the kids out of this. Imagine this was a dude who had 3 different jobs and didn't even have enough money to have a home. The majority of women will say, not only is he a piece of shit, is he a loser, but he don't deserve none of these viscous innards. So I say all that to say, if you flip it around, this is getting painted as if she is a victim. But I look at this and I say, what have you been doing with your life? Now enter the children. Now it gets incredibly sad. You have 4 children that, Lord knows, are they living with you in a rental car at the same time? Where is CPS at? All right, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, let's keep reading. My kids are staying with friends. Okay, thank goodness. All right. They're not living in the car. It's just me, she told thedailymail.com. And let me also say this. I know that there's certain people that can be down bad in life. Okay. But if you're 38 years old and your father is a billionaire, then that means to me that mistakes were made. I don't even think that components of the story should be entered into the viewer's mind of Dr. Dre, her father, being a billionaire. Take the father out of that. This is life. Irrespective of having a $1 billion father, you should be able to make it on your own, because there are people that came from far less than you that have done incredibly, insufficiently well. But I digress. Let's move on. I'm taking odd jobs now just to make it. I got paid $15 an hour as an assembler at the warehouse. I'm trying to keep my head above water. I've been in debt for a while. LaTanya said she now fears she will lose her rental as she has not been able to make the payments. The car is a pretty penny, she said. Listen, you're in a rental car, right? Like, being in a rental car is, in California, is way more expensive, all right, than being in a home in the Midwest. Move. Get out of Cali. You know how many broken dreams and empty promises California provides to people who go over there with like a semi-fleshed out dream and end out on the streets? Have you heard of Skid Row, which is like a mini town within a town of homeless people? It's real out there. Not to mention the taxes in California are out of control, okay? But just move. Start your life somewhere new. It's an SUV that cost $2,300 for 3 weeks, and I only paid for 1 week. Move. $2,300 can be 3 months of rent somewhere else in the South or the Midwest. Move. And maybe some of the thought is that when moving into Cali, she'd be making more money, but she said it right here that at the Amazon packaging plant, she's only making $15 per hour. That $15 will get you nothing in California. But that $15 is some places in the country, you make $15 an hour and you're living decent, okay? Not good, but decent, all right? But let's move on. Sooner or later, they're going to take the car. Yeah, they will. LaTanya moved with her kids from Nevada to California a month ago in hope that she would earn better money after her work dried up. Okay. You moved from a lower cost state, all right? Nevada has better taxes and it's way cheaper to live, to California. Your opportunity to make more money went up, perchance, if you have a plan. But also your expenses are going to go up as well. So what we're seeing here is a laundry list of bad decisions, okay? And we have to be accountable in each one of our lives to understand what are the things that we are doing to ensure strategically that we're taking the correct steps forward. And again, guys, take the children out of this for a quick second, and just her as a human being, as a person, is making incorrect decision after incorrect decision. Throw the kids into it, and it's just like, holy moly, because you chose to not be married to the father of your children, or fathers of the children. I don't know her background. So you did not choose that path, but instead you are now a single mother who is absolutely struggling. Okay, let's keep going. I have friends and family that will let us come back and forth, but the majority of the time I'm living out of my car. She added some more photos. What's this? Okay, Dre split with the mother when she was 5 years old. Oh, here is LaTanya's birth certificate. Okay. LaTanya has been asking Dr. Dre's lawyer for help, but he has told her that since she has spoken about her father to the press in the past, he will not give her any money. Oh, so here's where the information comes out at, is that you've had his name in your mouth negatively in the press, and you're still expecting some type of financial benefit, okay? But we must be held accountable for our particular actions. It seems as though Dre has gone as far as to disown you, and I'm sure that wasn't all of it, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But we also have to enter into this conversation the relationship with her mother as well, because a lot of times that what can happen is that if LaTanya went to go live with the mother at 5 years old, okay, then the mother could have infused negative information about Dre, which would sour the relationship between the father. What I also like to know as well was there child support that Dr. Dre was paying, and maybe she came into money early in her 20s and then kind of splurged it or bumped it all off, and didn't save correctly, and now she's expecting handouts later in her life when she's down bad. But let's read on. Let's see if we can figure that out. All right. She added that it pains her that her children never met her famous grandfather. Is that really the pain, or is the pain that he's not funding the lifestyle? Okay. I'm homeless and I've been reaching out to my dad for help. His lawyer has said that my dad doesn't want to help me because I've spoken about him in the press. Okay, these are her quotes. That's why it's kind of repeated. I feel like I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. No, here goes the I feel stuff, okay? If you supported his brand and his image to the press, I'm sure it wouldn't be this bad. But for every action, there is a reaction, okay? Let's keep going. I'm just trying to communicate with him and see if he wants to talk to his grandkids. Stop the cap. That's not what you're just trying to see right now. You're using the kids as leverage, and they're your creation. You went off and you made those children. But to a degree, you're using that as leverage within the press story to paint him as the daddy warbucks that no one ever wanted, okay? When Dr. Dre was rushed to the hospital with a brain aneurysm in January, LaTanya found it difficult to even know if her father was in stable condition. It was like pulling teeth just to know if he was all right in the hospital, she said. She admitted that he has helped her by paying her rent and giving her an allowance, but that help ended in January 2020. This is what's important. Notice that she's not giving any quotes on this right now, right? Like, and I'm sure Dr. Dre will never come out with the information to follow up this story in order for saving grace of how much money that he contributed. But this is what can happen if you're taking a look and you're not taking responsibility for your life, and you got someone with money in your family and you don't take accountability for the choice and decision that you are making, and then you waste all of the money or the gifts that are given to you. Those people are standing back and looking like, oh, okay, that's what you're going to do. And you're going to talk shit about me in the press because you feel as I owe you for this or owe you for something. Let's move on. All right. Some more photos. Her doing the DoorDash. All right. Masked up. I appreciate her safety. Okay. Now, people label me as a millionaire's daughter, so they don't understand why I am working. It makes me want to crawl under a rock. He used to help with our rent and gave me an allowance, but told us he wouldn't do anything anymore. I'm out on the streets. I wonder why. Speak about that. That'll be taking accountability. I asked him for help, and I haven't gotten a response back from his lawyer. I'm hearing about mistresses that he's bought houses for. It's a messy situation. She added that it hurt her to hear of the generous financial settlement a divorce judge ordered Dre to pay Nicole, his wife of 24 years, earlier this month. All right, let's bring this up. Guys, listen, at the end of the day, I wanted to talk about this, as I mentioned before, because again, subconsciously in the news and the media, men are often thrown completely under the bus in the name and the face of a particular story. This is a grown woman, okay? Pretend this was a story and there wasn't a billionaire father, okay? And read the entire story and look at it equally as the same way that you look at men, okay? She has led an unsuccessful life. Okay. And it's not the responsibility of someone else in her family to make it better. Okay. Add in the billionaire father. Could he give her a little something to get her on her feet? Yeah, sure. Should Dre take a bit of responsibility for this? Yeah, I think he should, at least to a degree. Why? Because you had a baby with somebody who you ended up not being with. So you weren't there to put in the teachings that were necessary to make her a disciplined adult. Who truly suffers in all of this is her children, who don't have the grandfather, don't have the mother, doesn't appear to have the father. They just appear to have this woman's friends. The life lesson in all of this, guys, you got to take full accountability and think strategically about the decisions you are making in life. Take me, for example. I have never asked my pops for money ever. Ever. And I made sure throughout my life to never ask. I always wanted it for me. I always tried to make the correct decisions within that. And I depended on nobody in order to get it done. Lesson 2, for all of the fathers that are down into the building, the longer that you don't spend time providing leadership and discipline to your children, the more that this type of situation will be your future. Let me speak for Dre for a quick second. If he had the opportunity, taking a look back on his life, to make sure that he was present more often, or to have waited till later in life when he was a lot more stable to have children, I'd guess he'd say he would have done that. All right. Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Glad we made it through that here today. I was a little bit upset and angry that I did this before. So it is what it is. Guys, do you agree with me? Did I get this one right? Did I get this one wrong? Leave it down in the comment box down below, and let's have a fantastic discussion about this one, all right? Until next time, YouTube. Peace.